everybody. I know you're ready for what we about to talk about today, brother. You know we gonna get straight to the money today. We don't got no type of spice to this introduction. We don't need it because we know what the news was today, brother. We know what the news was today. We kept Gru. We extended 4. My man Brandon Bean got to the bag. He's handing out the cheddar today, bro. What's going on with you? What's going on,
Hey,
man?
man.
How we doing today?
First of all, I got 3 words, man. Big baller Bean, man. Hold on. Not only is he a big baller Bean, he make chicken out of scratch, my boy. We don't have any money to play around with, but somehow this man is a magician with the money, and I can't complain, big dog. Today was full of nothing but good news for us. You know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm full of energy, bro. I'm excited to see what we're gonna bring this offseason, man. This is just the beginning. Let's go, big dog. How you feeling, dog?
Hey, man, you know what, man? I'm feeling good, man. Big baller Bean. I call him Moneyball Bean, man. He's making his best impression of Moneyball. Brad Pitt, one of my favorite movies, man. Turning the Oakland Athletics into a great team when he had nothing for as much as a salary cap. He made the best he could what he had, and he made the best out of what he had. And it ended up being a team that ended up going far into the playoffs. And that's what he's doing here, man. So big shout out to Brandon Bean. I know we give him a lot of flack on this show too because you know the dead cat money and the players that he signs, and we keep everybody accountable on the show, man. But you got to give kudos to where kudos is due, man. Give him his flowers, man. He's doing his thing right now. And the one thing that I saw today was Built in Buffalo, man. They were big shout out to them. They were saying draft, develop, extend. Draft, develop, extend. You know, if it's one thing that I learned definitively today about the Bills organization is that they are loyal, not to a fault. They're loyal to the very end. And if you're worthy to extend, then they will extend you. They will show you that money. And some people, they won't do that for it. If you don't show up, they just will not extend you. And that's going to be our celebratory thing toward the end of the show. But I'm feeling good right now, man. I'm feeling good right now. It shows a lot about where we're going. I think that for a lot of people that want us to still get Myles Garrett, I wouldn't say that it's off the table. But what I would say is I think that definitively we have our right end for the next couple of years. Brash, young, 24 years old. 6'6", 7 foot wingspan. Dude is an animal. Haitian brother, man. Like spent his summers in Buffalo before he even came to the Buffalo Bills. Got family already here. We already knew he wanted a touchdown, and this is where he wanted to be. So I'm glad that we have him. And there's nothing more than I like to have a player that wants to play in Buffalo. You know, I think I basically feel like I had a lot to say about Greg Rousseau as far as the stats is concerned. Like he doesn't really flash out of the pen. You know, he doesn't have 10, 20 sacks, anything crazy like that. But sacks are hard to come by in this league. So I think that when it comes to Greg Rousseau playing his role, he's one of the best run defenders in the league as far as defensive ends go. He holds a lot of value as far as the league wide for defensive ends. So he deserves his money. Will we like him to get back there more? Of course. But he's only 24. Time will tell. So we'll see. How do you feel about it, K.I.? What's going on with that?
I'm gonna be honest. I love it for the simple fact that if you're gonna be honest, Greg Rousseau is the best player on this defensive line. Bottom line, he's better. He's better than Ed Oliver, at least when it comes to production wise. Maybe not contract wise. I mean, now he is, but and also too, if he would have had another year like he had this year, he would have cost too much for next year. So we got him at the right time. And guess what? Now that he got his money, he could play. He might even go more harder now. Because you know what? Y'all loyal to me. Y'all could have just left me in the dust. I could have just sent me the free agent. I could have just traded me, you know? So I think, like you said, we got a good piece of our foundation left. And if there's any player that I would have want to stay on this defensive line, it would have been Greg Rousseau out of anybody. So I think we did a good job. I'm excited about that. And I was just bringing in the pieces around him. Yeah. So that's how I feel, dog.
Okay. Well, what about the next player though that we have on there Terrel Benard, man. TB, man. Big TB. How do you feel about his extension, man? Because that one took me by surprise, man.
First of all, let's get this straight about TB, right? The contract is amazing, right? So he got a 4 years. It's worth 50 million, but it's only 25.2 guaranteed, right? So that means 6.5 million we pay him a year for a caliber linebacker such as Terrel Benard. Did you not see how much Tremaine Edmonds went for?
No, actually, no, I didn't. I know he got his bag, but I didn't know exactly how much he got.
Trust me, he getting paid almost double than Terrel Benard. And Terrel Benard is a better player than him by far. And the fact that we got a player like him for this cheap, you can't beat that, bro. You can't beat that. And let's be honest, Terrel Benard is him. He's that boy. He's a staple. He's a captain. And I'm glad that he's here to stay, my boy. He gonna be good for other players that we draft to look after him, to learn from. I think we did the right job. But I think we did a good thing, big dog. How you feel?
So I feel like we got him for cheap because of his stats. And the PFF stats say he's one of actually like the middle pack linebackers in the league. So they don't give him that much respect as far as run defense, as far as pass defense. They don't give him a lot of respect on that regard. But we see him every Sunday. We got the privilege to see him every Sunday. So I'm glad to have him here. He took the captain role and he rolled with it. I respect him a ton. And his intensity has not changed since he's been here. He plays through injury. He's one of the big dogs on our defense. And when we didn't have him, he was sorely missed. We had Baylon Spector playing for him. He was sorely missed. Like I feel like now that we have those guys extended, now we have to look upon the horizon and see what else we could do by Wednesday, because the salary cap, we got to be under 274 by Wednesday. Yeah. So that's right now, like we were just talking about it just before we got on here about how we're basically rushing. It's a rat race to Wednesday on how many contracts we could get a hold of. And I think that one of the big pieces now is keeping who we have, but who's willing to stay for a cheaper price. And I think the cheaper prices come from the statistics. And there's only so much you could sell or sell a team on as far as being an agent. So if you're going to sign somebody to crazy money, it's only because they're putting up crazy stats.
And also, I expect 2 more extensions to happen before Wednesday.
Okay.
One is Dawson Knox, and the other dude already admitted it, Deion Dawkins. I could see both of them doing a restructure of their contract by Wednesday, and I think that right there, especially with Deion Dawkins, and because if Dawson Knox, I believe we pay him 14. If we could restructure him all the way down to 6 million, if we restructure him, that right there is already going to put us underneath that 274 million.
May I say something about this money, because we're saying 14 million to 6 million like it's nothing, right? That's a lot of money, and if you can't live off of 6 million in a year to go get you a ring, I feel like there's a problem with your life. There's something wrong with you. So I feel like I make $100 stretch to the end of the week, man. These dudes are out here making $6 million in a year. I mean, of course it's being taxed. Man, I'm gonna just be real. Like they're probably gonna see like $2 million out of that because of the whole, paying the agents, and you got to pay, the taxes on it, and New York State taxes is crazy. If you were to break down all that stuff, you're really gonna see only $2 million out of that. But you could live out of $2 million in a year. And you already know. Let's keep it real. Dawson Knox, you ain't really doing nothing on the field, and it's not a shot at you. It's just how they use you. Okay, so utilization. You're more than able to do the stuff that is allotted to you. Like, you have the skill set, but you already know next year it's going to be Dalton Kincaid's graduation year. They already told him at the AFC Championship game, we're looking at him to put on some weight so he can play the tight end 1. So Dawson Knox, with all due respect, you better restructure or it's going to get ugly. So that's all I got to say.
Oh, no, facts. So what you think about this, man? How does Mike Pellegrino mash with Bobby Babbitt's philosophy on defense?
So welcome to the team, Mike. So I think that this is something that we've been waiting on for a real long time, as far as changing the philosophies on defense, because that bend and don't break defense, that had to go. we are. If it's one thing that we learned after 4 long years of playoff football, is that we cannot keep doing the same thing every year and expect a different result. So now we're changing the defense. The offense is already putting up 30 a game. All you got to do is reload. As far as the defense is concerned, that's what we got to work on. And so right now, we're looking at teams that we got to compare to, like the Philadelphia Eagles. They play man defense and they got a crazy pressure defense. So when you're looking at Mike coming in from the Patriots being a man coverage dominant coach, I feel like that's gonna now you're gonna have to get players to fit that scheme, and the relationship with Bobby Babbage, it's gonna be. I feel like in the beginning it's gonna have its stretches because Bobby Babbage plays a nickel defense, and when you we play more DBs than you play with linebackers. It's a little tough to play just man coverage when your pressure is not getting there. So I expect us to get somebody or to go hard at somebody that is going to bring pressure. So I'm looking at guys like Joey Bosa. I'm looking at guys like Myles Garrett. I'm not looking at guys like Trey Hendrickson. So whoever thinks that we're going to get Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals are not going to trade to another AFC opponent that's right there at the door, just like the Bengals are. The Bengals are falling apart, but they're not that stupid. They might not know how to build a franchise, but they're not that stupid. So, I mean, when you prioritize 2 wide receivers, just a sidebar, instead of a wide receiver and a defensive end that led in sacks, I think that that's a problem. So what I think is, as far as the philosophies, when they mesh together, I think that it'll be rocky in the beginning, but as long as we draft the right personnel come April and we get a pass rusher that's worth a damn, I think that we're gonna be good money. I think we're gonna be good money.
Perfectly said, right? I don't think I understand how excited I am that this philosophy on defense is about to change. I've been saying this year after year after year. The fact that we about to go to man coverage means a lot for this team. Oh, it's just man coverage. We're not playing nickel. This not there. It means a lot because you know why? Our biggest problem at that defensive line is about to change up. Pieces are getting moved because the only way you can play man coverage is if you got big, solid men on that defensive line that can stop the run and that can get to that quarterback. So there's about to be some moves, some differences, some trades that's about to happen due to the philosophy of Mike coming into the Buffalo Bills staff. No more bend and break. We're gonna have some run stoppers. You see, like he brought up. You see what the Eagles have? Eagles look like they are light years above everybody else in the league when it comes to that defense.
They drafted some dogs. They drafted some dogs, man. And the thing is, not only did they just get like 1 or 2 players, dude, they got like half a roster turnaround. Half a roster, dude. That's impossible. That's impossibly great. Quote with Skip Bayless, man, impossibly great, man. That is impossibly great. Like, you don't just go from having a middle of the pack team to then going to get damn near half of Georgia's football team and then going to get Cooper DeJean and then thinking that he's about to body Derrick Henry in his rookie year. You don't think that. You don't think he's about to get a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You don't take a guy in the Saints and then re-sign him a linebacker. And they just re-signed him just today too. I forget his name, but he was an unknown guy. It's an unknown now. I still don't know him. And he gets a pick in the Super Bowl as well. So
I know you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. Bald guy. You Mr. Clean. You ain't gonna miss him.
Yeah.
So I feel like that type of turnaround is hard to compare that to any team in the league. But I think that we right now already have those pieces in motion, and we're in a lot better shape than we think we are. When you don't think of it in an emotional standpoint, we're like right there as far as keeping this team intact where we can be even more dangerous next season. And we say it every year, obviously. But this move with Mike, and then not even that, but getting a senior defensive assistant in Rich Nielsen. And Rich Nielsen also ran man coverage dominant too. So you bringing him into the mix as well with Bobby Babbage and with Mike Pellegrino. And you have all that together. trying to mesh. You have all offseason to mesh what you saw in the playoffs, and then bringing in personnel that you can mesh with that. I think it's going to be interesting. Now, to come to think of it, you got Taron Johnson, you got Christian Benford. I don't think Christian Benford's in a rush for a contract. No. And do you re-sign Rousseau Douglas to that type of defense? I don't think so.
Rousseau Douglas is gone. He's a dominant zone coverage cornerback. That's why he works so well. That's why he works so well on our defense for the past 2 years.
I thank him for his time. I think he did really well for what. I mean, he brings some energy, dude. When he tackles, he's a good tackler. I just think that he's looking a little older, and he's seen better days on the field. And I think that Bobby Babbage and Mike Pellegrino and Rich Nielsen, they're gonna see all that, and they're gonna want faster, bigger corners. And we're used to seeing smaller corners. Like Christian Benford is one of our bigger corners. Brandon Ingram, if we keep him on the squad, which I think we should, I think that he's one of our bigger corners too. Everyone else is small. So I think that we're going to look to get a CB1, either in free agency, a veteran CB1 that can stick to man coverage, or we're going to go draft a cornerback in April.
I think. Oh no, we definitely drafting a cornerback. All for it. Yeah, all for it. We're not gonna go on free agent.
And there's plenty of them. You can literally go from 1 to 3, and it's a win. It's a win. There's a lot of corners and there's a lot of defensive linemen in this draft.
And also too, the fact that we changed so much on defense when it comes to our coaching staff. Best believe that this is gonna be a heavy defense draft. We're gonna draft a lot of defense, and best believe I can see us at least drafting 2 to 3 DTs defense on that line. I can see us drafting 3 defensive linemen this draft because Ed Oliver's in trouble, but we're gonna get to that. Especially if we don't get Miles. Daquan Jones, he's in trouble. We're gonna get to that. So within the next month or so, expect y'all to see some surprises.
Man, I would say between the next 72 hours.
Yeah, people get cut and traded.
The next 72 hours, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah. So have your Buffalo Bills alert on because it's going down.
Right? And you're gonna hear it first here, guaranteed.
Oh yeah.
We ain't got nothing better to do than give y'all some content now.
We don't.
We're literally on call. As soon as we see something crazy, we on there.
Oh wait. Now check this out because this is about to get fired. I'm about to start cooking. Right? Are you okay with letting Ed Oliver leave Buffalo to draft a new DT?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Offer it. If y'all know me, if y'all been tuned in with me, since I brought on the show or just even on social media in general, I know I can't stand Ed Oliver. I have no reason for me wanting him to stay here. Yes, he I'm not saying he's a bad player. Obviously he's not, but he don't fit our scheme. That's why people always complain, Ed Oliver don't show up or this, that, third. But do you not know that Ed Oliver, he is a terrible defensive end or a defensive tackle when it comes to double teams because he's so small. He's undersized. Ed Oliver can't produce unless he got 2 or another big man that's next to him that's taking on double teams. If you don't have one-on-one opportunities, he's useless. I have no problem with letting him go and start over with a new DT. Not only that, it's going to be cheaper. It's going to save us money. And not only that, we could get some good draft capital out of him for his replacement. So, and me personally, if we don't get Myles Garrett, I'm telling you right now, Ed Oliver is gone. And I truly believe that. If we do not get Myles, Ed Oliver will be leaving this offseason. What's your thoughts on that, big dog?
I think that's a blasphemous take.
Why do you say that?
And what DT, bro? DT is one of the hardest positions, underrated to get any type of statistics in the league. Now, let me put you on before I start going to my diatribe.
Yep.
Defensive tackles on average get about 2 tackles a game. They probably don't get any sacks. They're not everyone's walking around being a Ndamukong Suh, Calais Campbell. There's like guys that get back there. Vince Wilfork's back there for the OGs. The scene with Vince Wilfork play in the Patriots. I feel like Kyle Williams for the OG Buffalo Bills fans. there's not a lot of D tackles out there to get back there to get sacks. And Ed Oliver is one of the top guys in the league when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. He had 39 pressures, dude, in the NFL. That's 20th out of 219 defensive linemen. Okay, and this is a rotational defensive line. He's not always on the line, and for him to be 20th in the league means a lot, because he doesn't play every snap like every D tackle in the league. There's only maybe two or three defenses in the entire league, Kansas City and Buffalo, that come out top of my head, that play a rotational defensive front. So when I see Ed Oliver, I just think that I see your issue with him as far as him being a liability, because you have to cater to his needs as far as, okay, I need to get a defensive tackle that can open him up and for him to play actually better. But you're only looking at it in a statistical view. If you look at it in a pressure view, he had 39 pressures. He's 20th in the league. Snaps, he's 43rd in the league out of 290. Like, he's a second string type of snaps. Second string type snaps. And he's 24th in the league overall out of 219 defensive linemen. Mind you, a lot of the league play 4 down linemen. So you're looking at him being in the mix with basically being tier 2 defensive tackle. We're not saying he's one of the best in the league as far as top 2, top 3, not nothing like that. But he's up there as far as production wise. The only thing I would say is that you need to up his snap count. The dude's almost 300 pounds. Maybe if he put on maybe like 10 pounds, 10, 12 pounds, he might lose a little bit of speed, but he definitely could be a little more well-rounded as far as being a defensive tackle. I wouldn't let him go. I would clear the DT1 and keep him at DT2. Keep him in the one tech. Because if you keep him in the one tech, bro, he's literally one-on-one all day. Right over the center. If you keep him in between guard and center, he's gonna get blocked all day long. He's gonna get blocked all day long. It's just a matter of fact.
I respectfully still disagree. You brought out the numbers. Hey, listen, I'm not arguing numbers. I'm seeing from what I see on this field.
Of course.
I'm seeing from games to where we need him, he's not there. He's the last person name you hear on the team on defense. In big games, you don't hear this man. You don't see him in sight. You even forget he on the team at a point in time. Like, yo, where this man at Oliver at? He go stretches, he go weeks, and we don't know where he's at. So, and for you to be getting paid that much money, and nobody know you except for Bills fan, you're not making no noise, and most of the time we don't even know where you at. That's a problem for me. And then right here, Spaghetti Steve, great point. But when he does get help, he's a beast, and I 100% agree with you. And that, as I explained multiple times, that's my biggest issue, is the fact that we paying you as a top 10 DT, right? And the fact that you can't do nothing when you can't do nothing unless you got people around you. Most highest paid DTs is killing people regardless if they got somebody next to them helping them or not. Yeah. That's a problem for me. I'm sorry. That's a big problem for me. So that's why me personally, I'm okay with letting him walk and we start over. Because guess what? We draft well anyways. We draft well. So get some capital.
Draft well with what? Because I'm gonna get on you about that. If you don't say we gonna draft well, what we drafting well on? Because they ain't been the first round.
Oh no, I'm talking about in general on defense.
Maybe day 2 picks, well. Maybe day 2 and 3 picks.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We draft well, and let's be honest, right? He get pressures. You know who always got a lot of pressure? Surprisingly, Von Miller. And we want him gone. But he had a lot of pressures this year too. He actually led the team. For half of I think like the first 5-6 games in pressures. Honestly,
he led the team in sacks this year with 7.5 sacks.
Who?
Von Miller. You know how sad that is. You know how sad that front is. That's disgusting.
That's actually ridiculous.
Yeah, that's sad. for a 50-year-old man to be showing you up. I'm not gonna get into this, man, because you know what? I'm gonna start crashing out on the site, man. It's gonna get. Let's see what Joey has got to say. Offensive line is too small. Ed Oliver is way undersized. Okay, agreed. He's way undersized, which is why I said if you keep him one-on-one, I feel like that's gonna be the bread and butter. And there's plenty of DTs in the draft that we could either trade up or stay right where we're at and get a valuable DT.
And Spaghetti Steve. Now, you know what? We're not even talking about the Bills. We talking to all the Buffalo Bills fans right now, right? Well, that just shows how bad our defensive line was in general last season, right? A lot of people think, oh, we had such a great line, and this, that, that. People need to realize when you win, we forget how bad or how certain things wasn't as good as we actually thought it was. Because we was winning so much. There's a lot of holes in this team, and especially on defense. There's a lot of holes on this defense. And the fact that we was winning so much, people, our defensive line is good. Keep everybody, extend. No. Y'all got to go. Some of y'all got to go. And I'm gonna be a big advocate to that. I will lead the charge. Everybody get their protester signs up. Because we going to the Bill Stadium. Because like I said, I'm cool with Greg Rousseau, but anybody else in this line could get up out of here. And I'm okay with that. It's a business. Get them going, replace, and let's get better. Let's get younger and let's get cheaper.
I'm gonna answer your question because I feel like I've been dancing around it. Are you okay with letting Ed Oliver leave Buffalo to draft a new DT?
Yep.
Yes. Reason being, Dwayne Carter, I was big on last year. He's gonna be in year 2. You move him to the side, he becomes Ed Oliver. Worst case scenario, you got somebody that already knows the defense and already knows what's going on. I don't know if we resign Dwan Smoot. I would love that because he, even in the Chiefs game, showed a lot of pressure. He was getting back there.
Like Smoot.
Smoot's a rotational defensive lineman. That's another guy that knows the system. That'd be awesome to still have. Jordan Phillips still wants to play for the Buffalo Bills. Respectfully, you've seen better days. So you might be on the practice squad. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can prep the guys that are on there, all power to you. But what are we going to trade him for? What are we going to do with not having that? Because we're not guaranteed that we get a DT in the draft. So for him not to leave the Buffalo Bills in this situation, he must restructure. He must restructure. Sure. You want to win, you gotta show up the money. Pull up and let them know, listen, I'll take a small pay cut, but I'm not taking a huge pay cut. He still is an impactful player. I'm gonna stand on that. But I feel like people see the stats and it's no one's fault that quarterbacks nowadays are not playing great and they're not throwing deep balls and everything is short, which means DTs don't get really back there at all. So you got to look at that point too. DTs don't always get back there and they don't always get pressure because they're throwing just short slants all the time. And they're throwing little quick bubble screens and everything.
And I like this question because I was going to ask you something that actually leads right into this, right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti Steve. And for Sean McDermott to be this defensive mastermind and not have this D line to be elite, I've been saying that for a while. By now, at the 5+ seasons with him, and we're still looking for help on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that being said, so this is a question that kind of leads into that. The fact now that we got Mike and Babbage, mashing together, and clearly we about to buff up this defensive line, this draft. We about to get big this year. Trust me, right? Do you think now with that philosophy that they actually gonna keep their players on the team, or do you think they still gonna be in that rotational mindset on the defensive line?
I think that if you're box office, if you're Myles Garrett, for example, you ain't getting off the field. Greg Rousseau is almost never off the field. He played like 80-some% of the snaps on defense. He's him on defensive line. Now, guys like Ed Oliver, guys like Jordan Phillips, guys like Daquan Jones, and Dwayne Carter, all of them are rotational guys. AJ Epinesa, not leaving him out there. I just feel like we were spoiled when we had a cold front. When we had Kyle Williams, we had Marcel Darius. People forget we got Marcel Darius in like the 3rd pick of the draft, bro. Those players, those Quinnen Williams type guys, those guys are hard to come by. Those, what's the guy? Hutchinson from Detroit. Dude, he was what, number 1? He's a beast. But you gotta get those guys like first. When we had Mario Williams, he was the number 1 pick in the draft. We didn't let him leave the building. I'm gonna give you the farm. Buddy Nix, good for him. Didn't let him leave without a contract. Wanted him signed. They didn't want him going nowhere else. Kyle Williams, developmental player, got better and better and better every year. We kept him. He became a staple for the defense. Marcel Darius got him in the top 5. And then we got Jerry Hughes out of a trade. That was probably the only time we got a dynamic player that got fed off of 3 other guys that were doing good pressures. Now, our defensive line has not been great for like the last couple of years, but our linebackers have been stout, our corners have been stout, and our secondary was stout all those years. So we cannot crap on Sean McDermott as far as, we haven't had a good defensive line. I get it. We all are thirsting for the Myles Garretts, the Hutchinsons, the Hendricksons. We're looking for those players. We are. We're not saying that we can't draft them, but there's times where, say, if we would have got what's that big fella from the Eagles, Jordan Davis, big 300-pound SOB man from Georgia. We go trade up to go get him. We can't go get other players. So, and you're looking at a 2-down DT at best. It would have been worth it. But the con is we then don't go get a secondary player that we need. And then we got to go face Mahomes, and then we're screwed. Either way, we're screwed. So you got to look at it that way. That we are playing with what we can afford, and the guys that we have, we want to keep. Because those guys just don't come like this. So it's not the mastermind. He is a mastermind. You know why he's a mastermind? Because when he is in the playoffs, he still finds a way to not leave in the first round. He still finds a way to have teams give up not even 20 points in the playoffs.
So I have a question for you, right? He's great at drafting corners late, linebackers late, safeties late. Do you think the Bills have a scouting problem when it comes to DTs on finding good defensive tackles on his line? Like, do you think we have a scouting problem with that? Because we get everything else right.
No, I just feel like there's okay. Ken, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna answer your question with a question. If you're number 12 in the draft and I'm number 25 because I went to divisional, right? And I lost in the divisional in the playoffs. And I want to get your pick. Are you going to take my pick knowing that I'm literally only a couple picks away? And I don't have much to give you after that. Because if I give you Matt Milano, for example, and my first round pick for your 12th overall pick, and it doesn't work out for a small market team like us, what happens to our team? It takes a hit, right?
Yeah.
What happens to your team overall? You get better.
Benefit.
It's a competition. So, yeah.
I agree to disagree, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I agree, because the logic behind what you said is true. Because even if we do move up and we get the player that we want, but that's not really the player, we pretty much screw. We got less picks, right? But for example, right? Say we do move up a pick or two. Okay, yeah, of course we're gonna give away our first. We probably gonna have to give away our second as well. For example, right? Say, okay, hypothetically, right? Say we was 5 positions behind the Cleveland Browns, right? Say we was 28 and it was like 23, and Myles Garrett is up. Would you give up your first and your second or 2 seconds to move up to get him? Hypothetically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, like it's a two-edged sword.
If it's not, yeah, if it's not that far apart, yeah. But like no one's gonna be that dumb to go be like, yo, I'm gonna go from 28, 29 to like number 8. And then I'm gonna,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like it, like for
that's
us
your
to
whole
get,
draft.
for us to get, for dude, that's the thing. Like for us to go get the type of players that we are starving for, the Marcel Dariuses, the Mario Williams, the Jerry Hugheses when he was in his prime, the Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams, bro, is a late round pick, bro. That literally ate it up. And Jerry Hughes was a pick that didn't work out. We've been throwing draft picks. Yo, go ahead and read that for me, bro.
We've been throwing from Joey Hatch. We have been throwing draft picks and money at his defensive line on a regular. We didn't draft defense 1 year, and all of a sudden our defense fell apart. You shouldn't have to keep drafting DTs and edge rushers, but we can't seem to get those two positions right.
Now, I like your take, and it's not that we can't get it right. It's that the philosophy that we have been fighting, the bend don't break, it doesn't work. Every other team finds it a way to make it work. We need to stop taking players off of the field. We need to let them get a rhythm of the game. Unless you're tired and you're playing no huddle and then you take a timeout and you need him to take a breath or two, like that is what needs to change. I think Ed Oliver would be way better if he had more snaps. I think that Greg Rousseau has gotten better because he had more snaps.
For sure.
I think AJ Epinesa would be a subpar player. You know what I would compare AJ Epinesa to if he had more snaps? Chris Kelsey.
Cool.
Any OG guys, the Joey Hatches, if you heard what I said, Chris Kelsey and AJ Epinesa, underrated players, depth players, starters, they could be starters, but they're easily replaceable. But the ceiling, as far as Bills fans, Chris Kelsey was a good pass rusher. But he also could, like, he also had those dips where he wasn't seen either. So you'd be there, but you wouldn't be felt per se. You know, it's not he was Aaron Schobel back there, where he's getting back there. No, he's got the talent, but he's one of those guys that that rotational line that messes him up. And I think that a lot of the times us not getting it right, it looks that way. But I just think that us getting those group of guys and then only saying, oh yeah, we only have $20 million to give these guys. That plays a lot. That plays a lot into getting like the right guys. You think Brandon Beane and those guys don't want that? Bro, they don't want the Bills to be good. No team in the league wants us to get a 4-man front. Let's just keep it real. Because everywhere else, we're just fine. We're just fine. I don't lack any confidence in our DBs. I think Cole Bishop year 2 is gonna be fine. I think that he's a project player, second round pick. It's not his fault what happened in the AFC Championship game. It was clearly Kaiir Elam's fault. As far as DBs are concerned, Benford is still there. Teron Johnson's still there, and he's gonna be there for a while. He might retire a bill. Brandon Ingram, again, a guy that's underrated, that's been there a couple years already in the system. He's gonna be fighting for a spot. I just think that we have to stop fighting this narrative that we can't get it right. More like we can't afford them, and other teams that are looking at us that we're right there, they don't want to see us there. So why would they give us? Why would they just hand out those people to us? You see other teams getting AJ Brown for BS picks. You see people throwing out Carson Wentz. You see what they did. They got Cooper DeJean. They got Jordan Davis. They got Nolan Smith. They got hella players for just one player. They're selling out. They're selling out D Hop for 4th round picks. They're selling out Deebo Samuels for what was
crazy
it, a 4th round
work.
pick?
I think it was a 4th or a 5th, bro. They got him for a bag of chips.
That's disgusting.
A bag of chips, bro.
You think the Bills are doing that? You think the Bills are getting that trade? Hell no. Hell no.
Nah.
They're definitely
First of all,
not getting that.
Just in case y'all don't know, y'all may not
They're
know.
gonna try to fleece us.
Outside of the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills is one of the most hated teams in this league as well. We may not think that because we fans, because we love it. We are one of the most hated teams in this league.
And guess what? And we win some of the most games in the league too. We're in that dance. We're in that dance, and I'm not taking that for granted at all.
Yes,
I'm a ride and die for mine.
So before we move on with the show, I'm gonna bring it up because it's been a long time since we seen you, brother. Welcome back, man. No bones about it, man. What up, baby? Hey, man, listen, man. We need someone. Garrett Henderson. Last time a player had more than 10 sacks was 2016, and that's why we so thirsty to get Myles Garrett. That's why we are so thirsty to get a player of that caliber because we don't even know. I forgot what a 10-sack season looked like on this team. I don't even know how good it feels. What you said, Von Miller had 7.5. I still don't believe that. I gotta go watch some games over because I don't remember him getting 2 sacks.
Dude, most of his sacks, 4 of his sacks were the last 2 games of the season. Disgusting.
That is crazy work, bro.
Sack week 2, and you ain't seen them since.
I swear, bro, I don't
must
remember
be
this
the money.
man touching
Must
the
be the money.
Bro.
I don't know. I don't see Deion Sanders nowhere in our locker room, but it must be the money.
Oh no, facts, bro. All right, so check this out, right? Would you move up in the draft to get a lockdown corner such as Will Johnson, Jahdae Barron, etc.?
So, again, I said this earlier. I think that if you went and saw somebody that was dropping, I seen that Will Johnson is dropping right now. Will Johnson is dropping because of a hamstring injury, y'all. So like, and his games have dipped the last 3 years that he's been playing in college. They went from 14 to 12 to 6. It is alarming because he's still young. He's 21 years old. Big corner. The problem is I don't see us investing in a guy with injury problems. I feel like, again, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane have a real good affinity to the locker room. They have a good affinity to their team, and they know who they want to bring in here. And we honestly have one of the best medical staffs in the league, and it's really underrated. You might not think that. You might not think that, but we have had one of the best turnarounds for injured players in the league. Look around and see who we've gotten back from injury and how they played after injury. And just think about it. Matt Milano coming back from injury, slowly but surely, he got better every game. They progressed his moves. Taron Johnson, another guy that got injured, came right back and never missed a step. Just think about it. Dude, we had a guy back in the day. Our medical staff has done nothing but advance. I'm talking about times where even when Fitzy was here, we had guys like Andy Levitri that talked hella stuff about us in a good way, where he said, I never got injured playing one game in Buffalo. And then he ended up leaving here because he wanted to go to a winning culture and went to the Atlanta Falcons. And that was later. That was when, they had their successes. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault that we get injured. It's their job to get us back on the field and playing better. DeJuan Smoot got surgery at the right time. Keon Coleman never missed a step. Dwayne Carter never missed a step when he came back. You got to look at all those pieces. And that will open your eyes to be like, damn, I never really thought of it that way. Oh, yeah, that's true.
If you know me, I disagree. I actually hate our medical team. And I said this on I do. I'm sorry. I can't stand them.
That's
right?
Crazy.
And I said this numerous times on previous shows. For one, they lie to us all the time. They keep everything behind closed doors. And then when something bad happened or we lose a big game, that's when they will let all the injuries out. Oh, this player was hurt. He was actually hurt. We actually let them play through this. Like, no. Not only that, for some reason, our superstars is always getting hurt. Most regular players don't get hurt. It's literally always the best player somehow. Yeah, and then not only that, bro. For example, you want to bring up Matt Milano. Matt Milano he got hurt, right? He broke his leg. Right?
He tore his bicep and then he broke his leg. Yeah, but is it his fault? Is it his fault? Is it their fault that he broke his leg?
No. It's not his fault. But it's their fault that they knew that he wasn't ready to come back, and we all knew that. Just like we knew Von Miller wasn't ready to come back. Why he always talk about, oh, I'm gonna be back. Everybody named Mamas knew he wasn't ready to come back, and we let him come back, bro. Well, why you clear him?
Okay.
Josh Allen got a broken hand. Why is he? Josh Allen had a broken hand. He got a concussion. He got knocked the hell out. And the other time, oh no, he good. Let him back out. Okay. That's a problem for me.
Okay. Now, that's not just a medical staff problem. Medical staff is all right. What's 2 + 2? 4. All right, cool. Get back out there. They still want to say, oh, it's not like that. It's still like that. It depends on the player too. If you're Josh Allen, you gonna go to Mr. Trubisky and then say we gonna win more games? The hell we not. I promise you right now. You saw Mitch for 2 games and you're losing those 2 games.
I seen him in preseason almost crashed out.
Yeah. I'd rather have put Ben DiNucci out there. At least he knew how to win games. In the UFL, maybe, but maybe not in the NFL, but in the UFL, he did pretty all right. So where I'm getting at is I'm not gonna sit there and then put the medical staff in bad terms to the public because they got their leg broke on the field. That's not their fault. Their job is to get them back on the field. And what I've seen in the last 10 plus years of me watching this team is that our medical staff, year in and year out, does the best for these players. Why did Von Miller get on there? Von Miller said why he was out there. It's because it was a selfish decision for him to be back. We get to clear him. We as the medical staff get to clear him, but it's a team decision to get him back. So they have those meetings and they say, man, like it's Von Miller. Man, it's Josh Allen. Man, it's Jordan Poyer. Man, it's Micah Hyde. Honestly, the only dude that was honest about his injuries was Micah Hyde. He said, bro, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back if my neck is bent up. I cannot play like this. Even though I'm Micah Hyde and I know y'all need me and I'm cleared, I still cannot. I can't put it out there. I can't play.
Joey Hatch and Spaghetti pretty much say the same thing. So I didn't want to bring up both comments.
Yeah.
What was Keon after his injury? Even Brandon Bean and Sean McDermott came out and said he underperformed after his injury.
Okay.
In which he did underperform. His hand is still messed up right now. If we want to be honest. But yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we did kind of need him, right? But this is my thing, right? Don't you remember one Pacific coaching staff? I kept saying you gotta get him up out of here. The special team coordinator.
Oh yeah. He's up out of here. Yeah. We have watched that too.
And guess what? This medical team need to get up out of here too. And hey, y'all heard it here first. Bro. I don't like our medical team. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, we got a weight room team guy up out of there after he's been there for 10 plus years. So I wouldn't be surprised if they say, you know what, a couple of these guys, they gotta go. I do want to go and answer his question though. What was Keon after his injury? Keon was healthy. After his injury. I don't know if y'all seen this, but we didn't really throw the ball to wide receivers much this season. So his stats are irrelevant. He did the best he could what was targeted to him. And there was blunders in the beginning of the season, but there was also flashes of him getting the ball and what he can do when he has it. He's a bigger receiver, 6'4", 215, bigger guy. Now, I think that when it comes to Keon and his injury, it was more or less the same as Amari's. Now, we didn't, due to his role and what he did and how many real catches he was getting per game, there was no rush of bringing him back anyway. So the answer to that is he's the same dude when he was injured than when he came back. The only thing is he was healthy. Like, let's be real. Like, the same dude that left is the same dude that came back. You know what was one thing that happened toward the end of the season? He actually started getting open on some stuff, and that was it. So, was he getting the ball all the time? No, because we had James Cook. So
somebody in the comment got a red flag for your comment.
Go ahead.
Ice Super Frost.
Okay, Ice Super Frost. All right, Dr. Frost. I'm gonna have to answer that. Now, yes, he couldn't get open. He had an up and down season. It depended on something that I really said already. You can bring his comment down already. I think that I'm tired of us getting developmental players at wide receiver. I think I would like to get a wide receiver that's been playing wide receiver since he was 10 years old and has been balling since. Not a two-way player. Keon Coleman can't get open because Keon Coleman's still learning how to get open. Keon Coleman was a second-round pick. Keon Coleman was not a first-round pick.
Agreed.
Keon Coleman is the same stature and the same type of attributes as DK Metcalf. Literally, to a T. The only thing different is that he can get open. DK can't get open. He's a solidified number one receiver in the league. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like he could just get open at whatever, at whatever cost, as far as DK is concerned, because I have my concerns with DK too. But we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna lead right into it.
But I think that when it comes to Keon, I think that he's gonna get it together. I think he has the right mindset to get it together, and he's gonna open a lot of eyes in year two. And I'm more hoping than I am thinking, to be honest. I'm more hoping because what I saw in year one, I didn't like at all. He couldn't get open. You're right about that. But could he catch? Yes. Was he able to get contested balls at times? Yes. So I'm not going to sit here and say he don't got no ability. Josh Allen that needs to trust him more. Josh Allen needs to throw the ball to him more. It needs to be more design plays toward him. All summer long, they were on Keon's gonads about everything. They were like, "Oh man, Keon, man, he looks superhuman out here, man. Look, Keon's the show of the day. Keon, blah, blah." And then when it came to the season, it was curtains. They were putting number one corners on him, and there's nothing they could do. It's an adjustment year, dude. It's a rookie year. I'd ease up on him. He's a young kid.
So
not everyone's gonna be Justin Jefferson. Not everyone's gonna be Justin Jefferson coming out the gate or Jamar Chase.
No, so since you on fire right now, you cooking right now. Perfect segue for you, man. Would you be upset if the Buffalo Bills get DK Metcalf instead of Miles?
No.
No, I would not be upset. Now, the reason why I won't be upset, because I know there's going to be a lot of people, we need Myles Garrett. We want to get Myles Garrett. We already signed Greg Rousseau. So the worst thing we did was adjust our salary cap and get a dude that already's been in our defense. We already know what we're going to get, and we already solidified the right side of the defensive end. Now, Myles Garrett plays both sides, which is why I say there's still wishful thinking to get him. We could make a package to go get him still. And he plays right end really good. Sorry. Greg Rousseau plays left end. And Myles Garrett plays both sides. So if you really wanted to, you could still get him. Now, DK Metcalf, the thing that I can imagine is DK at 6'4", 235, Keon in year two, working with CeeDee Lamb and wide receiver coaches with the right mindset that he got on the other side. And then you got Khalil Shakir in the slot. And then you got Dalton Kincaid in year three, healthy, with some added weight to him, with a chip on his shoulder after a terrible year, injury-prone year he had. You're looking at the whole piece. And I'm thinking that, man, had DK came, I wanted DK when he was first in the draft. But we didn't get him, sadly. Now, I wouldn't be upset because it would complete our offense from a pass perspective. Now, my pushback with DK is that I've seen a lot of DK Metcalf's games, and DK Metcalf is constantly crying about something, and he's always getting into fights. Dude, it's nothing more than I like than a chippy football player, but if it's one thing I do not like is a player that is prone to getting in his own head when the chips are when they're most valuable. Could you imagine getting an unnecessary roughness or a BS penalty from a guy that just can't shut his mouth? Unsportsmanship.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike conduct. Like, could you imagine us playing the AFC Championship game and then having him stunting on somebody, and next thing you know, it's 15 yards? I would lose my mind.
I'll crash out.
So maybe, and it's the thing. I still think I don't think that that he's a bad dude. I just think that his passion sometimes it over consumes him to the point where he's ineffective in other ways. He gets into his own head when they're losing games. He's frustrated. He want to throw stuff. It's just so his passion is infectious, but sometimes it's infectious in a negative way. And do you really want to bring that to the locker room? You know?
Yeah.
Or maybe he needs a coach like McDermott that's going to tell him, yo, listen, we don't need this. We need you to be DK Metcalf, the dominant. We need you to be Donkey Kong, bro, on that field. We need you to be the ultimate wide receiver one because we don't have one. We know Keon's not it. Keon's a project guy. You can help him. Y'all are the same stature. Y'all can literally be Jekyll and Hyde. And then we already locked up Shakir. You look any further, we still got Curtis Samuel on a deal. We still got dudes that can compensate. We still need to go get Matt Collins. This is the second episode. We still got to go get Matt Collins. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I think we're waiting until we set up the cap to go try to go get him again. But I wouldn't be upset if we got DK, in short.
So for me personally, I will be upset. And the reason why I will be upset, regardless, if we do get DK, it's a win-win situation, regardless if we get either one of them. Let's be honest, right? But the reason why I will be upset 100%. Is because the Bills just came off the most efficient offensive season in NFL history. We scored the most points. We blew teams out. We destroyed teams with, well, not to call them, scrubs according to the media world. We destroyed teams. So to me personally, I don't even think we really need to add such a dynamic player to our offense for us to be. How much better can we really be on offense with the season we just had? I mean, of course we could get better. You can always get better, but how much better do we actually need? Our problem is defense. Our defense don't show up in the playoffs for the most part. It's that defense, that defensive line. If we're gonna give away a first, you're gonna get that first round away to somebody on that defensive end. Because let's be honest, Myles Garrett's generational. DK, you not. You're a good receiver, but you're not generational. We need something on this defensive line, something that's on his defense that's gonna fire us up, that's gonna help stop this run. We have a run stopping problem because teams beat us through the run, and when they start running on us, that opens up everything else for our defense to get slaughtered on. That's my biggest thing. So I think I will be upset personally.
I would be upset if we give up a first and a third for DK. Would I be?
He's not worth a first.
You hit the nail right on the coffin right there. I don't even think you realized it. He's not a generational receiver, so you don't have to give up a first if you don't really want to. So what's the greed? It's more of like, oh, we need to try to fleece a team because he's talented. Yeah, bro, but he's not Jamar Chase. He's not even T. Higgins.
Oh no, nowhere near.
T. Higgins, and there's no slight on T. Higgins, but T. Higgins is clearly wide receiver 2 on that team. And he's one of the hottest receivers out there to go try to grab now, if not the hottest receiver. Because you still got rumors about A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown not going nowhere. Okay? A.J. Brown is with Jalen Hurts. He wants it over there. He loves Philly. He's going to stay there. I don't see him leaving. Unless Howie Roseman wants to be like, oh, yeah, now we're good on Devontae and Dallas Goedert and everyone else. Everyone else. That's a problem. You still need A.J. Brown. Anyways, I just think how mad I'm gonna give you a question because you like Myles Garrett. Would you be upset if we got Myles Garrett and after all the drama that's ensuing over there, he comes and then he's sitting games and he's going through all this drama and then he's out of shape? That to the point where it's like mid-year. He's threatening to sit out games. I don't think that's going to happen. Personally, I think that they're going to have to get a trade out the way. Teams are going to be starving to go grab him. There's teams like they say the Eagles. There's teams like the Commanders that got money to go pay him. Even after they grab him, they could go extend him, and he could go play for a winning organization. But there's only so many out there. There's only so many, and we're gladly one of them. But do we have the money to pay him? And I think that after all the money he's made, I think he'd be okay with getting paid what he gets paid here. But there's only a certain ceiling before it sounds looking like disrespect.
See, I 100% agree with you, right? But my thing is, though, I believe that he won't sit out games because he won't be a Cleveland Brown next year. The only way he's going to sit out games is if the Cleveland Browns literally rejects everybody bid for him. So I feel like if he get traded, he won't be sitting out because, I mean, technically, he still got 2 years on his contract. He don't have to be extended immediately, regardless if you get traded anywhere, unless the team like, no, what? No, we're going to extend you. We traded for you. We gave you a first round. You staying here until your career is over. Unless the team got that mindset, I'll do it in a heartbeat. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you.
As soon as we get him, I tell him, they be like, Vanessa, yeah, you have to go, dog. I'm sorry. That's $7 million. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Gary. I'm sorry. Yeah, Von Miller, yeah, sayonara, buddy. That 8.6, I'm also giving it to Von. That's his next year's pay, actually. Thank you for giving him his salary for next year.
No,
I appreciate it. He gonna bring in the 7.5 by October. I promise you that.
7.5?
He'll bring you 7.5 by October.
I like that. All right.
You imagine 7.5 sacks by October? That's low. That's low numbers. That's low numbers for him.
That's insane, bro.
He's a problem. 100 sacks before the age of 30. He's a problem. So
and that's a problem I want on this team. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Come January, come February, we need that.
That's all we need. That's all we need, bro.
Because it don't matter, bro. When you have a good front six, I know we're getting a little late on this thing. Yeah. But when you have a good front six, it don't matter who you got at corner. Those people are gonna eat because the front six, because we play a nickel defense, so our front six is gonna get back there, and then you're gonna end up having corners like Brandon Ingram look like Terrel Revis out there, getting 4 picks in the season because they're just throwing the ball. They're trying to get rid of that thing. Yeah. So we have to get back to that, and the only way to do that is to just send the farm.
Oh yeah,
it's send the farm, bro. I don't care about interior defensive line, bro. We can keep the guys that we have right now and just add Myles Garrett. I do not care. I do not care.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm giving away Epinesa, 2 first-round picks this year, 2nd, and this year 3rd. He's send the farm. Send them all. We got 10 draft picks. Send what you gotta send. Get the job done.
You know what? I'm gonna say it now. If you were to let go of Epinesa, as much as good as the depth players you have, you let go of Epinesa in a package trade. You let go of Daquan Jones, period. You re-sign Jordan Phillips, and you keep him. You keep Dwayne Carter. You keep Ed Oliver. You have Rousseau on the other side. You have Kevon Solomon on the other side at second string defensive end, and at that defensive end spot right there is left. You give Myles Garrett 1st and a 3rd. Shit, I'll give you a first for next year.
Oh yeah,
I'll give away 2 for him. And I know that's bugging, but like we have enough to recoup that. We have enough talent on our team to go and get somebody like that and gamble to go get the ring. Because we're in a gamble to go get the ring.
Oh yeah. Hey, if we gamble on Von Miller, who was turning 35, however who he was, we could damn sure gamble on Myles Garrett.
Yeah, because that contract is sick.
So before we move on, this is the most Bills thing I heard in a long time in the comment section. Because this is something that will really happen to us. And we'll be here mad. That is something that will really happen to us, bro.
But would you really be mad? Bro, dude, Joey Bosa's still nice. But you know what I think though? I think Joey Bosa honestly is gonna bid to go play with his brother. They run a good 4-man front over there, and they just let go of Hargrave, the defensive tackle over there. I think you should look into guys like that play for teams like the Niners that can ball. Get those guys healthy and get them on the right track. Look what we did with Leonard Floyd. We came from the Rams.
Oh, such a dog.
He was a dog for us. He just didn't want to play here because apparently we didn't play big boy football. And we ended up smoking them.
Oh,
so 1 year after another, this team has changed. And I promise you, after that AFC Championship loss, after we knew the mistakes that we made, you think we're not going to be on a hunt to go get more physical guys to change our defense? Because I feel like this loss hurt more than the first loss when we got spanked.
Oh, for sure.
We got spanked the first time the COVID season.
You know how crazy we was talking on here? Especially me. I thought it was our year. I'm like, you know what, this team gonna be this.
Man, listen, I ran out of words, man, when we got to the AFC Championship game. I said, listen, man, I'm just counting my praise at this point because my blood pressure cannot handle this type of anxiety every week that we're gonna make it somewhere. And then I'm sitting there with Ken's tears on my shoulder, being like, damn, we messed up again. We did it to ourselves again, man.
Oh, thanks.
The pain.
So now check this out, big dog. Raiders declined Seattle offer of both DK and Geno for the exchange of Max Crosby. If you was the GM of the Seattle Seahawks, if you was the GM of the Raiders, would you have taken that deal?
Oh yeah, I'm declining that. Declining that. Why would I want to get Geno Smith, bro? I'd rather go get Mr. Trubisky at this point. Seriously, like, bro, Geno Smith is not Sam Darnold or any, bro. He's
oh no.
Sam Darnold is a notch better right now than Geno Smith. DK Metcalf is not again, he's not a number, like, he's not like a generational talent where you're giving up the farm. And Max Crosby is the second best defensive end in the league. The best defensive end is Myles Garrett.
Agree.
He's a juggernaut. Max Crosby, he's most physical, one of the most physical DNs we have in the league. But again, it's just it's kind of like pick your poison. So no, I wouldn't take that trade. That's blasphemous.
I'm not gonna say much on this topic, but the answer is no. I wouldn't even think about. As soon as Seattle would have sent me that, I would have deleted the email. Get up out of here. You wouldn't even heard back from me.
But DK Geno and what? DK Geno and what? So you telling me a third? You telling me a third, a second, and a what?
And check this out, right? I'm gonna go first on this one right here, big dog. Thoughts on Geno Smith going to the Las Vegas Raiders regardless, right? For everybody that's listening, I think this is one of the most goofiest, dumbest moves I've seen this whole offseason. You have, I believe they got the sixth or seventh round draft pick. You ain't gonna go draft for quarterback? You're not gonna go draft for, you gonna get Geno Smith? Geno Smith is not him. He's a decent quarterback at his greatest. He's decent at his greatest. He don't have flashes. He doesn't do nothing significant. When I watch the Seattle game, I watch Geno Smith. You know what I think about?
What you think about
the Patriots? I feel like I'm watching the Patriots. I think they're garbage. I think he's garbage. He's not clutch. He don't have that it factor. He's not really a good leader. He breaks under pressure a lot when he's under that pocket, and he runs for no reason half the damn time. I would have drafted a new quarterback and started from scratch, if I'm being honest. I mean, yeah, he did have a good season with Seahawks 2 years ago, in which that season was the season that got him paid. But that was like his best season he had since he's been in the league. And he did not.
Geno was nice. Geno was nice even this prior year. Problem is that just, his whole their offensive philosophies over there have changed over the years. And they had rookie guys. They had, their offensive line wasn't that great, which means that Geno isn't that great. If you don't have a good offensive line, no quarterback is really great. But if you're already Geno Smith, you're already kind of biting, a little more you could chew. As far as being a top quarterback in the league, we're not going to sit there and act like he's. I mean, he got drafted for a third. I mean, he got traded for a third round pick. So
And
they still hold the number 6 pick in the draft.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't fall into that. Oh, you had a bad offensive line, because you know why? Look at Andrew Luck. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Josh Allen when he got in the league. Look at Patrick Mahomes, because he ain't have a good line. But guess what? They win. They produce. They put up superstar numbers. They always in the All Pro. Regardless of how good or bad that the offensive line is, you can still produce under a bad line. And the best of quarterbacks has always done that, good or bad offensive line. Bottom line.
I agree. Real quick though, looking at this pick, I think that Geno Smith is going to be more of a mentor quarterback for the quarterback they're going to draft. And if that's not the case, that's a bridge quarterback for next year. Because the Raiders are essentially a project team. Tom Brady's looking at them like a project team. And let's get this all out the way. This is Tom Brady team. This is not Pete Carroll team.
Yeah.
Okay? This Tom Brady team. And Tom Brady picked Pete Carroll. So Pete Carroll's an established coach in the league. He's not a crap coach for whatever people say. He has success in the Seahawks. He has success with USC. He's a successful coach. Maybe in the league, his prior time with the Patriots, I don't feel like it was the most successful, but he obviously has some success to get back into the league. He had to go back to college and come back. So I think that you get an established coach, you don't go wrong there. And then you go get a bridge quarterback. I think that this is the right move for the Raiders. I think it's better than Gardner Minshew. So I think it's better than Derek Carr. So when it comes to that, I think they're headed the right direction. And for what they got him for, a third round, it's not bad. It's not bad. There's no quarterback in this draft that's better than Geno Smith that's going in the third round. You could book that. So you get a Geno Smith for a third rounder. That's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal.
I think it's bad if they plan on having him beat a quarterback for a long term.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro. So, he's in his 30s already, man. He's long gone.
Okay, so you believe it's just a bridge. So you think it's just for this year?
Yeah.
Okay, if it's just for this year, it's not bad. It's not bad.
This year and then going into the next year. He already has the relationship with Pete Carroll, so he already has that chemistry there. So to learn the system that Pete Carroll already has, you get a guy. I think Shador is going to be there, man. I think Shador is going to be in Oakland, man. Shador plays a lot like Geno, like a developed Geno coming out of college. Shador plays good quarterback, bro. He's smart with the ball.
I think he better than
He's just not gifted like Cam Ward. I'm just saying. Cam Ward's a problem, bro.
I don't know.
Cam Ward's a problem. You got to watch his tape, man. He's a problem. His defense is trash in college. Had his defense been good in college? He'd have had way better looking stats. Yeah, way more possessions too.
All right, so that's a hot take. That's a hot take for me and you. Next year, if Shador do start, because it has to be fair ground. If Shador end up starting and Cam Ward, I bet you Shador have a better season than Cam Ward.
All right.
So that's a bet me. Hey, y'all heard it here first.
We'll see.
But now to end the show, it's time to celebrate. It's time to party. Hold on. I'm about to turn up. Give me 1 second. I ain't playing with y'all.
Oh, my man is going crazy.
First of all, I bought this specifically just for this reason. It's the referee whistle. You feel me real quick, dog. Look what just happened right here. Look what just happened. Kaiir Elam trade rumors. Carolina Panthers. Oh, he finally got up out of here. If I had to make one more segment or show about this man, I probably would have crashed out on here. I'm so tired of him. I think this is the best move that we made so far outside of our extensions. This is it. Time to celebrate, man. I hope y'all all get some good sleep when y'all heard this. I hope every single one of y'all had a smile at this news, man. How you feel about it, HB?
I'm reading, and it says that we traded him for an undisclosed pick. They're preparing to trade him for an undisclosed pick. You know what that undisclosed pick is? You know what that undisclosed pick? That medical staff guy that you were looking for. The janitor that cleans up the lockers real good. That's who. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. You weren't good when you came in. You weren't good when you left. Sayonara. I ain't got nothing to say to you, man. You done had all your years to try to prove to us that you were gonna be good, that you were gonna get better. They gave you more than every chance. Okay.
First of all,
soft as cottonelle tissue. As a player, you gotta go. You're stumbling everywhere. You're a mess. You gotta go. You choked. You had one opportunity. You had the championship game. You could have shut a scrub down. You couldn't shut your shadow down. You had to go. Your coaches didn't believe in you. Nobody believed in you on that team. You had to go. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's so bad that Debo got traded for a bag of chips. Kaiir Elam got traded for a Popeye biscuit. They traded him for a bag of Skittles.
It ain't even it wasn't even the Popeye biscuit that you get fresh out the duck. I'm talking about the one that you left back there for the last order. And it dried up. Yeah.
No.
With no butter.
The one. No, it's the biscuit that they took out once the store closed, and you gotta dig out the dumpster and grab it.
Oh, you talking about the buns? You talking about the buns?
Yeah,
you talking about the buns? You say he was buns? Yeah.
Remember I said that?
Yeah. I remember the crusty old buns. Yeah.
Everything coming back around with what we said. Everything is coming back around with what we said, man. But hey, man, with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Bills United Podcast.
This was a fun
Offseason talks, man. Oh no, bro, this was amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen, man. Before you go, hey, man, I just want to give my shout outs to all y'all, man, for tuning in, for showing love, man. Thank y'all for giving us your time that you can't get back. I'm always thankful. We are always grateful, man. We appreciate y'all, and we can't do this without y'all, man. Each and every time, man. Thank y'all so much. Got anything, HB?
Hey, man, just shout out to all the people that commented tonight. Make our show more entertaining. We appreciate it a ton. Always remember that this is just entertainment at the end of the day. It's fun. It's something that, we do to entertain our minds, especially when we're going through stuff, and everyone goes through stuff in this world. And when it comes to this sports stuff, it's our safe haven. And I'm glad it's something that we can share with you guys and that we like to do every week. So I cannot be more humble than to share a podcast with my friend Kenny. And yeah, there's nothing else I can say, man. Just keep on coming, and we're gonna keep on coming.
All right, now most definitely, hey man, y'all be safe, man. Y'all enjoy your night, man. Y'all have a good night. Hey man, shout out to my boy Jada. Man. Hey, listen, man, my man is an upcoming streamer. My boy trying to get into the podcast world. He loves sports, so hey, be on the lookout for my boy in the future, man. Be out here, man.
See, now you making now you making me feel type of way because my son want to be on the podcast, and I got to get him on because he want to brag about his Eagles, man. He want to brag about his Eagles, man. I ain't give him no clout. I gotta give him some clout, man.
You know what? I think we should have a kids edition podcast, man.
We should let them take a segment.
Yeah. Let them cook up a little bit because
see what they gotta say.
Yeah, because he's a big Bills fan, man.
Yeah,
and he's a big fan.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. I think we should do that. We should look into that, big dog.
All right, there might be a crash out of two because they're kids, but it's all good. It's all good. It's for entertainment. It's for the kids.
Yes, sir.
It's for the kids.
All right, y'all, man. Hey, man, y'all be safe, man. Thank y'all once again.